The Prime Minister has broken the law. He has misled Parliament and the public. He should resign and then face a full police investigation. I, like many other MPs, have
The police don't seem too keen to launch an investigation quite yet. They're saying they'll now wait, the Metropolitan Police, they'll wait for the results of Sue Gray's inquiry.
And that smacks of an appalling stitch-up between Number 10 and the Met Police. Sue Gray is a civil servant. She does not have the authority and the legal powers to get people to give evidence on oath. She doesn't have the powers to determine whether people broke the law or not. She can ask people what they think and what they remember, and then she can write it up. But we know what happened the last time that happened. Boris Johnson lied to the last civil servant he appointed to investigate something. He told Lord Geidt that he he'd got no recollection of where the money had come from for doing up his flat, and then he had to apologise that actually he had forgotten to mention he'd had WhatsApp exchanges with the donor.
Well, he says he forgot.
Outrageous.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Sorry?
He says that the messages were on an old phone and he couldn't access them and he forgot.
Exactly. Excuses. The fact is that people around the country were experiencing utter horror at the time. People have told me how they saw their loved one. They knew that their loved ones were dying alone in hospitals and care homes. A friend of mine had to watch her brother take his last breaths on an iPad. And now we know that at the same time, Number 10 had party after party after party. And when they got found out, they lied and then lied and then lied. Boris Johnson has to resign. What on earth does the government think is going to happen when Sue Gray presents her report to the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister has a track record of ignoring all reports of wrongdoing. He defended Dominic Cummings when he broke the lockdown rules. He defended Priti Patel when she was found to be responsible and guilty of breaking the ministerial code. And when the former MP for North Shropshire was found guilty of breaking the rules, the Prime Minister didn't just defend him. The Prime Minister stepped in, tried to rewrite the rules and try and save one of his own. So what on earth do we think is going to happen when Sue Gray presents her report?
But we are all accountable.
Well, I do think there are a lot of people who are very anxious about their loved ones going into a hospital and being treated by somebody who is unvaccinated. That said, I am against coercion for a couple of reasons and mandatory vaccinations. One, there is a point of principle. We have to persuade people rather than coercing them. But secondly, there's evidence that suggests that it can be counterproductive. If you try to coerce people into having a vaccination or you have the threat of coercion, then those people who are slightly hesitant can become ingrained and become incredibly sceptic. So there are lots of really good examples of things that are happening around the country to drive up vaccination rates amongst the unvaccinated. And just a couple of days ago, I was trying to encourage the government to take up some of those good ideas and to roll them out nationally. You know, we could be doing vaccine tracing. We could be doing on-the-spot offers of vaccinations for people who have, when they come into contact with the NHS. We could be offering free cabs to people to get them to their vaccinations when they can't afford to go because of the cost or caring arrangements. There are lots more things that we can be doing to drive up vaccination rates. I'm incredibly pro-vaccine, but it needs to be done through persuasion.
Daisy, do you think the monarchy has been damaged by this?
I think the monarchy has been damaged by these allegations that are very serious, but I think by acting swiftly today, they've taken the right decision, and it's a decision made for reputation management. Whatever you think of the monarchy, I think all of us have got a soft spot and a lot of respect for the Queen. You'd have to have a heart of stone to have not felt incredibly sad for her when she sat alone in the Abbey at that funeral. And so I think we have to separate, as Isabel said, the Queen is often above these things, and I'm sure that will continue. Well, this is complete news to me.
Oh, my God. You guys not been keeping. You knew you were coming on the programme. Come on, keep up.
Completely passed me by, this one. I guess what I would say is that, you know, I want us to live in an inclusive society. I think over time, I think there are words that never caused offence in the past that do cause offence now, and there are words we're probably using now that none of us realise are offensive that might be offensive in future. And so I think it's important that when people explain that there are words that are offensive to them and derogatory to them, that things do catch up. But when it comes to sweets, I have to say the thing that upsets me more is when the packets get smaller and smaller. So that's my biggest concern.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah. Very much so. Danny?
Look, I think